NationalGeographic.com helps to create a picture for us of a place that we all know. Picture a plane, a TBM Avenger torpedo bomber to be exact. The date is December 5th, 1945, and 14 men are taking off for what's supposed to be a routine training mission. The mission was going as planned, that they thought, and then there's just nothing. The men just disappeared, and there's no explanation for what happened to them. Or was there an explanation? This is what we're going to discuss. Understandably, this was upsetting to the family. Imagine if one of these men were a part of your family. They were husbands, fathers, and sons, and one minute they were there, and then the next minute they were gone. This was already a hard time for the family, and then it was said that the reason for the accidents was due to pilot error. The families fought the explanation, and because they fought it, the only explanation they could come up with for what had happened was supernatural reasons other than the pilot error. The argument is what actually led to the Bermuda Triangle legend. The results of the disappearance of the equipment and the personnel on the flight actually ended up being listed as causes or reasons unknown. And this was referenced from NationalGeographic.com. The incident, along with the area causing inaccurate compass readings, is what led to the legend. If you look at the picture, this is from unmuseum.org. The triangle is actually formed between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico. And this is an area where ships and aircraft were just thought to mysteriously disappear and they're never heard of again. This is a profitable theory, and it's fun to read in books and see in movies. However, tests didn't actually prove that this was accurate. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle is just that. It's a legend. Today we're going to take a look at some valid sources and determine the real causes for these happenings. I'm going to share some facts and explain why this is actually happening. We're going to look at how explanations are viewed and some of the more probable causes. And first we're going to actually look at how the triangle is viewed. Many of the credible sources don't actually believe it exists. History.navy.mil states that the Navy doesn't believe it exists. The U.S. Board of Geographic Names doesn't recognize the name Bermuda Triangle. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration further verifies this by stating, the U.S. Navy and U.S. Coast Guard contend that there are no supernatural explanations for disasters at sea. This is a fun story to believe, however, factual evidence proves otherwise. We're going to cover some of those facts now. This is a highly traveled area, so obviously the actual number of accidents is going to be higher. History.navy.mil explains some of the real reasons. The Gulf Stream is here, which is a strong current, so when there's an accident, it's going to be swept away faster than normal. The depths of the ocean floor, it's some of the deepest areas out of the entire world, so if something sinks in that area, it's going to go to the bottom and we won't be able to find it. It's also a lot of bad weather, and if you look at this picture, this is from ScienceDaily.com, and it's just a picture of a boat in a storm, but if you can imagine how bad the storms get out there and how bad it will toss around some of the ships, that's another reason for why they're actually getting in the accidents in the first place. And another reason is the area has a 60-degree variation, and if pilots don't know this, they're not going to take that into account, so their compasses are obviously going to be off, and that's why they're getting lost a lot. National Geographic and Atmospheric Administration agrees that environmental factors are causes for these happenings. They also add that there are a lot of islands in the area, and these islands have shallow water, which is another reason for the ships getting in accidents. They extended by stating there's no evidence that mysterious disappearances occur with any greater frequency in the Bermuda Triangle than in any other large, well-traveled area of the ocean. So we've looked at some valid facts about the Bermuda Triangle by credible sources and some more realistic explanations for them. This is a good story. Good stories are spread, a lot of people talk about it, which is what started it in the first place. However, there's no evidence that merely an area is causing these disappearances. So we've covered that there are natural explanations for the disappearances. There's storms, there's the current, there's poor navigation, and shallow waters. So most of us have heard the rumors of the Bermuda Triangle, and we don't often get to explore the facts of it. So I hope that you have enjoyed investigating the truth behind a legend with me. And this is the audience. And these were my backups for my visual aids.